Trudeau's Senate reform is anything but Senate reform. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. We were promised a panel of eminent Canadians to help the Prime Minister pick the next senators, fill the 22 vacancies in the Red Chamber. Instead, we got unknowns, has-beens, hacks, and quacks. Want to know more about this? Well, just so you know, it's not simply me. It's not simply a right-wing attack on this advisory panel. Let me read to you from the news release put up by the left-wing group Democracy Watch. Look, Democracy Watch, very left-wing. Duff Conacher, the man that started it, has run it for years. He studied at the knee of Ralph Nader. He says, Liberals' new Senate appointment process has some good merit criteria, but advisory board lacks independence and is partisan, as only Liberals chose board members. He says senators appointed under new process will be just as partisan as past senators because board nominees secret and Liberal PM allowed to ignore board members and choose whomever he wants. Well, who's going to be on the board? I can get to that in a minute, but first let me point out that they're going to be making a hefty payday. Their payday for the chair of this advisory panel will be $550 to $650 a day. Do you think they're going to work a 9-10-hour day or 4-hour day, have a nice lunch catered, call it quits? $550 to $650 a day per diem for the chair. All the other members will make $375 to $450 a day. Don't worry, they don't have to pay for any of their expenses. If they have to meet in Ottawa, they'll all be flown here on our dime. They'll be put up at the nicest hotels, and all their meals will be catered. So that's pure profit for them. But who is on the board? Well, some people that are okay, some people that are questionable, and some people that are outright hacks. Let's go through the list here. Dr. Indira Samarasekera. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's a federal member of the board. She served as president and vice chancellor of the University of Alberta. This is a woman that has advised both conservative and liberal governments in the past, and she appears to be nonpartisan. Same with Professor Daniel Jutra. He's a federal member. He's the dean of law, a full professor at the Faculty of Law at McGill University. I haven't found anything on him yet that makes me run screaming and saying, okay, this guy's bad, this guy's a hack. Let's keep going through the list, though. Murray Siegel, longtime civil servant in the Ontario government. He served as Deputy Attorney General and Ontario's Deputy Minister responsible for Aboriginal affairs. Never an elected official, always a background guy. And yes, he served under conservative governments going back to the 80s, the NDP in the 90s, back to the Liberals, or back to the Conservatives, then the Liberals. So he served under all kinds of governments. But this is a guy who, early in his career, failed upwards. This is the man that was, in many respects, in charge of the deal with the devil, the plea bargain with Karla Homolka, the one that let her walk from some of the most heinous crimes I've ever read about. Paul Bernardo, still in jail. Karla Homolka, she's free. Why? Murray Siegel. Murray Siegel helped sign that deal. Murray Siegel helped deliver that deal. But he failed upwards, as often happens in the civil service. Maybe that was his one big mistake. Maybe he's had a stellar career since then, but only in the civil service do you fail upwards quite like that. Then we get into the hacks and the quacks. Dr. Dawn Lavelle Havard. She's a provincial member from Ontario. She's also president of the Native Women's Association of Canada. And this is a woman who is definitely a partisan. This is supposed to be a nonpartisan panel. This is the entire gist of this panel. Let's take the politics out of it. Then why is she tweeting about Canada's Aboriginal Affairs Minister being defeated on the night of October 19th, 2015? Why is she tweeting about how the Harper government's gone and so's the decade of discrimination against the Aboriginal peoples in Canada? This is what fills the woman's Twitter account. This is a woman who has also said that she disagrees with the RCMP report and the report put out by former Aboriginal Affairs Minister Bernard Valcourt that said, look, a lot of the violence against women that they wanted looked after in the missing and murdered Aboriginal women inquiry, that it was taking place at the hands of their family members, that it was often Aboriginal men, just as it is in the general population. She disputed that, said that wasn't true. Let's keep going through the list. Sylvie Bernier, she is a provincial member for Quebec. Check out her Twitter account. This is a woman who tweets about how great Kathleen Wynne is, who hails the return of the long-form census, hails Justin Trudeau appointing us a science minister. This is a woman that hails on social media anything that the Liberals do. Is this a nonpartisan appointment, or is this a Trudeau cheerleader appointment? I'm going to go with the latter. We've got Dr. Yves Lamontagne, a provincial member from Quebec. He's an accomplished psychiatrist. All right, that's better than someone that we're going to meet in a moment. Heather Bishop. This is someone who believes in hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, and past lives therapy. She also records folk songs and travels the world singing about dogs. She is a social activist, to say the least. I'm sorry, we were promised eminent Canadians. Can you name a single one of those? Would you know a single one of those names before I read them off? We didn't get a panel of eminent Canadians. We got a panel of people that will nominate the type of people that Justin Trudeau wants to be in the Senate. So maybe they won't have party names attached to them anymore, but they're going to be social justice warriors. They're going to be left-wing activists. They're going to be the type of people that get the Order of Canada and believe everything that Justin Trudeau believes. This is hacks and quacks and has-beens. There's a couple of good names on there, but for the most part, I wouldn't trust them to walk my dog.